This is the tragic story of Anastasia Grishman. She was not just an adult film actress. She was also a popular OnlyFans model and a rising TikTok star. Anastasia often shared her life experiences and aspirations on a television show, captivating audiences with her bold personality and unique lifestyle. However, just weeks after appearing on the show, her life would take a horrifying turn. Anastasia's lifeless body was discovered, brutally stabbed 13 times in her apartment. The shocking revelation came to light when the police found that her body had been lying in the bathroom for nearly a week. During that time, a mysterious killer had taken over her social media accounts, posting photos and videos of her life, and even engaging in conversations with her friends and family as if nothing was amiss. What could have led someone to commit such a heinous act? This chilling incident unfolded in a prestigious area of St. Petersburg, Russia, in August 2022. Anastasia, just 26 years old, was found in one of the high-rise buildings after a concerned friend called for help. When police officers arrived and opened the door to her apartment, they were met with a horrific smell, a clear indication of the tragedy that had occurred within those walls. The scene was nothing short of gruesome. Anastasia's body lay in the bathroom, visibly decomposed, indicating that she had been murdered several days prior. An examination revealed the 13 stab wounds that had taken her life, and the blood splatter throughout the apartment told a story of violence and chaos. It became evident that the killer had first attacked her in the bedroom before dragging her body into the bathroom. In a calculated move, he had curtained the windows and plugged the pipes, attempting to mask the smell of death from the neighbors. As investigators combed through the apartment, they found scattered belongings and a half-packed suitcase, suggesting that Anastasia had been preparing to move, but never had the chance to do so. The killer's actions were not only brutal, but also chillingly cunning. Instead of disposing of the body, he allowed it to decompose while he assumed her identity online. He stole her phone, communicated with her loved ones, and even sold her possessions through social media. It was clear this was not the work of a random burglar. The murderer was someone who knew Anastasia intimately and had a motive for his brutal actions. Given her lifestyle and occupation, it was possible that she had made enemies along the way. Furthermore, her financial success, evidenced by her expensive possessions, including a sports car, luxury cosmetics, and high-end electronics, could have made her a target for those seeking to exploit her. Anastasia Grishman was no ordinary woman. Many labeled her a freak because she stood out in a crowd. Her body was adorned with tattoos covering approximately 80% of her skin, including visible ink on her face. One tattoo, the word hope, inscribed beneath her right eye, symbolized her complex personality. She embraced a provocative style and drove a striking pink sports car, reveling in the attention she garnered, even if it was negative. With over 300,000 followers on TikTok, Anastasia sought even greater fame. In 2022, she achieved a significant milestone by appearing as a guest on a Russian talk show, where her family and friends expressed their outrage over her choice to work in adult films alongside her husband. Yet, Anastasia remained unfazed by the criticism. She loved her job and thrived on the attention it brought her. On the show, Anastasia revealed her multifaceted character, shaped by a tumultuous upbringing. Growing up in a poor family in a St. Petersburg dormitory, her father was an alcoholic who played no role in her life, and her mother struggled to make ends meet, eventually sending her to live with her grandmother. These hardships forced Anastasia to mature quickly and seek independence, leading her to work from a young age. From the age of 12, she developed a passion for drawing and programming, and by 15, she had her first tattoo. This hobby evolved into a career as she began tattooing others, showcasing her artistic talent. Her work, often inspired by anime, carried a dark and melancholic tone, reflecting her own struggles with depression. Anastasia openly discussed her mental health challenges on her TikTok account and sought therapy to cope with her feelings. Despite her success in the tattoo industry, Where she earned significantly more than the average artist in her city, Anastasia faced difficulties in her personal life. Friends often warned her about the men she chose, many of whom were involved with illegal substances. However, Anastasia herself never engaged in drug use or alcohol, as she had no interest in either. One day, a man named Dmitry came to her for a tattoo, and they quickly bonded. Although he was in a relationship at the time, he ended it for the chance to be with Anastasia. Her friends were skeptical of Dmitry, expressing their concerns about his character. They felt he had a troubling demeanor, often speaking ill of his ex-girlfriend, claiming she had physically attacked him, which raised red flags for those who cared about Anastasia. Despite their warnings, she was drawn to Dmitry, perhaps seeing in him a kindred spirit or a chance for a deeper connection. As their relationship developed, it became clear that Dmitry was not the supportive partner Anastasia needed. While she was trying to build a life for herself, he seemed to bring more chaos than stability. Friends noticed that he often influenced her decisions, leading her down paths that were not in her best interest. The allure of their connection, however, kept Anastasia from fully recognizing the potential dangers that lay ahead. In the weeks leading up to her tragic death, Anastasia's life was a whirlwind of activity. She was busy with her tattoo business, gaining more followers on social media and navigating the complexities of her relationship with Dmitry. Yet beneath the surface, there were signs of turmoil. Friends reported that she seemed increasingly anxious and withdrawn, a stark contrast to her usual, vibrant self. The day of her murder remains shrouded in mystery. What transpired in those final moments? Did she sense the danger lurking in her own home? The brutality of her death and the subsequent actions of her killer paint a picture of a premeditated crime, one that was both shocking and deeply unsettling. The fact that her killer not only took her life, but also attempted to erase her existence by impersonating her online adds a layer of horror to the story. As the investigation unfolded, authorities began to piece together the puzzle of Anastasia's life and the potential motives behind her murder. They explored her relationships, her financial situation, and the darker aspects of her lifestyle that may have led to her untimely demise. Each lead brought them closer to understanding the complex web of her life, filled with both ambition and peril. Anastasia Grishman's story serves as a haunting reminder of the dangers that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly glamorous lives. It highlights the importance of recognizing the signs of toxic relationships and the potential consequences of living in a world where fame and fortune can attract both admiration and envy. As we delve deeper into this true crime story, we are left to ponder the questions that remain unanswered. Who truly knew Anastasia, and what ultimately led to her tragic end? The ex-girlfriend of Dmitry had bravely come forward to share her experiences, admitting that he had sometimes resorted to violence against her. Yet Anastasia, caught in the throes of love, dismissed these warnings, believing that such darkness could never touch her life. She was enamored with Dmitry, who had become her husband, and in her eyes, he was not the man capable of such cruelty. Dmitry had taken an active role in Anastasia's career, managing her work projects and helping to organize her burgeoning adult film career. He encouraged her to explore this new avenue, suggesting she try her hand at acting in adult films. Anastasia, known for her adventurous spirit and desire for new experiences, agreed. She registered on the Onlyfans platform, where she began sharing candid photos and videos that quickly garnered hundreds of thousands of views. Her friends and family were taken aback by her choices, urging her to reconsider her path. However, Anastasia insisted that her motivations were not financial. She simply enjoyed the work and the attention it brought her. Importantly, she made it clear that she only worked with her husband, never with other men. Despite the backlash she faced, Anastasia remained confident in her decisions. Proud of her substantial income, which allowed her to rent a spacious apartment, drive flashy sports cars, and indulge in luxurious fur coats. She was able to support her mother and live a life that contrasted sharply with her humble beginnings in a dormitory. Anastasia's rise from poverty to financial stability was a testament to her determination. She was resolute in her pursuit of a comfortable life, willing to take on any job that would help her achieve her dreams. Her apartment reflected her dual passions. One room was transformed into a tattoo parlor where she worked with clients, while another served as a studio for filming her adult content. Despite her success, her friends and family grew increasingly concerned about Dmitri's influence over her life. They pointed out his troubling past, to prior convictions for theft and evading military service. Yet Anastasia defended her love for him, even appearing on a television show together to proclaim her feelings and express that she felt no shame in her work. Watching those old recordings now evokes a deep sadness. It's heartbreaking to realize that Anastasia was blind to the warnings her loved ones had tried to convey about her relationship. Over time, the couple's dynamic began to shift. Frequent arguments erupted, and Anastasia confided in her mother about her desire to leave Dmitri and move to South Korea to open her own tattoo parlor. She had fallen in love with the culture and dreamed of a fresh start. Unfortunately, Dmitri's criminal record barred him from leaving the country, creating further strain in their relationship. Anastasia grew increasingly frustrated with Dmitri's lack of ambition as he ceased to contribute financially, leaving her as the sole breadwinner. Despite her challenges, she remained a vibrant person, attracting new admirers and even beginning a romantic relationship with another man shortly before her death. However, fate would not allow her to realize her dreams. When Anastasia's body was discovered bearing multiple stab wounds in the bathroom, suspicion immediately fell on Dmitri. He initially confessed to the murder, claiming it happened during a heated argument. However, his story took a bizarre turn as he later asserted that Anastasia had requested he kill her, alleging they had an agreement that he would do so if she ever asked. Dmitri's claims painted a troubling picture, suggesting that Anastasia had been in a state of despair, unable to take her own life. During an investigative reenactment, he demonstrated how he had attacked her while she slept, inflicting fatal wounds before hiding her body in the bathroom, hoping to buy himself time before anyone discovered her absence. He even suggested that he intended to take his own life afterward. Yet, his actions contradicted this assertion. Instead of expressing remorse, he began selling Anastasia's belongings online and even offered training sessions under her name, raising questions about his true intentions. His careless behavior and the fact that he confessed to his new girlfriend about the murder further complicated the narrative. Initially hesitant to get involved, she ultimately contacted the police, leading to the discovery of Anastasia's body. Dmitri's irrational actions suggested he may not have fully grasped the gravity of his situation, possibly influenced by substances or mental instability. While the investigation revealed that Anastasia had faced mental health struggles, it was clear she still had a desire to live. She was making plans for the future, engaging with other men, and even selling her cars to fund her move. Friends and family consistently reported that, despite her depression, she was eager to embrace life. The room where she was murdered bore signs of a struggle. Scattered belongings and a broken sofa indicated a violent confrontation. This did not appear to be a premeditated murder. Rather, it seemed Dmitri acted out of rage, unable to accept that Anastasia was considering leaving him. His inability to cope with the prospect of losing her may have driven him to commit the unthinkable act. The evidence suggested that their relationship had deteriorated to a point where jealousy and possessiveness overshadowed any love that once existed. As the investigation continued, authorities focused on Dmitri's conflicting statements and erratic behavior. His initial confession, followed by a bizarre narrative about an agreement with Anastasia, raised serious doubts about his credibility. The detectives scrutinized his past, looking for patterns of violence and manipulation that could shed light on his motivations. Witnesses were interviewed, and friends recounted how Dmitry had become increasingly controlling over Anastasia, isolating her from her support network. They noted that he often belittled her ambitions and sought to undermine her confidence, which may have contributed to her struggles with mental health. The more they learned about Dmitry, the clearer it became that he was not the supportive partner Anastasia had believed him to be. As the case gained media attention, public interest in Anastasia's story grew. Many were drawn to the tragic narrative of a young woman who had fought so hard to escape her past, only to be ensnared in a toxic relationship that ultimately led to her demise. Advocates for mental health and domestic violence awareness began to use her story as a rallying cry, emphasizing the importance of recognizing the signs of abusive relationships and the need for support systems for those in similar situations. In the courtroom, Dmitry's defense team attempted to paint a picture of a troubled man who had acted out of desperation. They argued that his actions were not premeditated, but rather a result of a momentary lapse in judgment fueled by emotional turmoil. However, the prosecution countered with evidence of Dmitry's manipulative behavior and the clear signs of a struggle that indicated a violent confrontation rather than a consensual agreement. As the trial unfolded, the jury was faced with the difficult task of sifting through the conflicting narratives and determining the truth behind Anastasia's tragic death. The emotional testimonies from friends and family painted a vivid picture of a woman who had been vibrant and full of life, yet caught in a web of manipulation and control. Ultimately, the case of Anastasia Grishman serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of love, ambition, and the dangers that can lurk within relationships. It highlights the importance of listening to the concerns of loved ones and recognizing the signs of unhealthy dynamics. As the community mourned the loss of a talented and spirited young woman, they also rallied for change, advocating for greater awareness and support for those who find themselves in similar situations. Dmitry felt a sense of pride being with a wealthy and successful woman like Anastasia. Yet beneath the surface, jealousy simmered. He was often offended when she spoke about her accomplishments, and he would lash out, feeling humiliated by her success. The prospect of her moving on with someone new ignited a dangerous fury within him. It was a volatile mix of emotions that could easily lead to violence, especially if he discovered she was seeing another man. Another potential motive for Dmitry's actions was financial gain. Following Anastasia's tragic death, he quickly sold off nearly all her belongings and pocketed the cash from the sale of her cars. This behavior raised questions about his intentions. Did he hope to escape abroad with the money? It seemed unlikely that he had a well-thought-out plan. Rather, it appeared to be a crime of passion, fueled by uncontrollable rage. Now Dmitry faces many years behind bars, a stark contrast to the life of luxury and attention that Anastasia had built for herself. For her friends and family, however, Anastasia Grishman will forever remain a vibrant presence in their lives. Her fans continue to celebrate her memory, maintaining fan club pages on social media platforms, ensuring that her legacy endures. Anastasia was laid to rest in a cemetery in her hometown of St. Petersburg. Friends and family gathered to honor her memory. But even in death, her life was shrouded in spectacle. A film crew from a local television station was present at the funeral, capturing the event for broadcast. Anastasia's mother, perhaps seeking closure or financial gain, permitted the filming and later appeared on a talk show dressed in black mourning attire to discuss her daughter's controversial life. It seemed that Anastasia's life had always been a performance, shared with the world through social media. Even her funeral became part of the spectacle, a final act in the drama that had unfolded throughout her life. After her death, newspapers across the city and country published articles about her, and several television programs dedicated segments to her story. In a way, she achieved the fame she had sought, but it came at an unimaginable cost. While many may have judged her lifestyle and choices, one thing is clear: Anastasia did not deserve such a tragic end. Her story serves as a haunting reminder of the complexities of relationships, the dangers of jealousy, and the consequences of living life in the public eye. Thank you for watching.